All right, guys, here we are again. Saturday, June, what is today? 12th. And I put a thing out on social media yesterday about going to be talking about James Comey and where's he at and what's going on with him, because I've been asking that question for months and months and months. And I was finally able to get some credible research done on it. And so I'm going to pass that along here. Right now, I'm just going to get into the general stuff you guys are starting to see on mainstream media. The stuff about Fauci, about COVID, about where it originated, about how it came about taxpayers' money being used to do it, about this is a bioweapon. And that's exactly what it is. The proof's starting to roll out. Like I've said in previous videos, this is all foundation stuff. This is all foundation stuff. Okay? These things that I'm hearing about Fauci being the fall guy and everything, Fauci's not a fall guy. He's an evil son of a bitch that needs to be shot in the head by a firing squad. He's not a fall guy. But don't put emotions and shit like that on the guy. He's been doing this for 30 some years. Okay? Those of you that know someone or maybe your own personal family has been affected by AIDS and SARS and different things like that. That's all created by Fauci. He played a hand in all of it. So he's no fall guy. He's an evil son of a bitch. You're starting to hear a lot about the elections, about these audits. Okay. 9 states toured Arizona and are doing it the same way. Okay. We got Pennsylvania, North Carolina, New Hampshire, Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin. We know Arizona's going full bore. I think Oklahoma signed on, and there was another state. What the hell state was it? I don't recall off the top of my head. Anyway, this shit's going to be like dominoes, folks. Okay? When the first one goes, you're going to see bang, bang, bang down the line, just like dominoes falling. That's what that's going to be. They have the end of the Arizona audits is supposed to be this Monday. Okay? June 14th. Now, as I said previously, there's no coincidence. This is all planned out. It's all being laid out on purpose the way it's coming out. So, Monday is Flag Day. It's also the end of the audits. So, information about these audits are going to start coming out. I'm under the understanding that there was 770,000 votes in Arizona not counted for Trump. So we'll see what comes out next week. We'll see if that's confirmed, or maybe maybe they'll say it's a different number. But that's what I've been told by a source or two. Now I have heard some other numbers, 450,000 and different things. So I've heard 1 million. I don't know what the actual real number is. 770 million or 1,000 seems to be the consistent one that I keep hearing, but we'll see. We'll see what it officially is. The border is a huge, huge deal. I hear the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, is supposed to be coming out with something next week about finishing the wall and about using Texas militia, Texas, National Guard and stuff to help patrol the border and get it under control. It's very interesting that he's coming out with that next week. There's a whole bunch of different stuff that's supposed to be coming out next week. And guys, like I said, it's not coincidence. They're laying it out for you like this for a reason. So I'm going to get into the James Comey stuff here. Let's go back. Let's go back to 2017. If you guys remember, James Comey was the head of the FBI. In 2017, Trump fired him. Okay. You remember all the media buzz about it, about Trump's a dictator and blah, 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 all that bullshit. So Trump fired him. Then Comey went on different talk shows talking about stupid shit. And then he had a book. So, you know, we gotta make money. He put out his book and did all that, right? And then 2018 comes along. And I don't remember January, February, March of 2018, somewhere in the early part of 2018. James Comey goes away. And I literally have been asking questions for 2.5 years. Where the hell was James Comey? Okay. Now, I knew where he was. I just didn't know any of the backstory at the time. Here's what happened. The military, under Trump's orders, was surveilling James Comey. Okay. Now, James Comey is responsible for all the cameras and microphones and stuff that were put in the Trump towers. Okay. It was Obama. It was under Obama that happened. But it was James Comey and his little crew that made it happen. It was James Comey that come out about the election. If you remember when Trump first won the election in 2015, okay, he wasn't inaugurated yet. Obama was still president. This is late November, early December 2015 when all this shit happened. So anyway, they found out James Comey's wife and kids were away and he was at the house by himself. Military broke in his house, arrested him. He was in bed. When they broke in, James Comey reached for a pistol that was under his pillow, and the military officer, using the butt of his gun, slammed him in the face, broke his nose, got the gun away from him, and Comey was arrested. He was then taken to, I believe, Camp Lejeune. He was taken to North Carolina, military base in North Carolina, and where he was awaiting his little ride to Gitmo. While he was at North Carolina, he was questioned, interrogated by the military personnel, because the military has proof that Obama ordered and James Comey carried out the drone attack that happened in northern Colorado in 2013. If you go all the way back to 2013, if you remember, there was a group called the 3 Percenters. Supposedly, these people, Obama looked at them as homegrown terrorists and basically said, we are eradicating homegrown terrorists. They did a drone strike on American citizens. It was James Comey and his crooked FBI that carried that out. The military was using that against James Comey, saying, if you turn evidence on Obama, we'll deal with you and you'll have life in Gitmo, and you will not face the military tribunal. James Comey, in all his arrogance, basically told him to fuck off. He's not talking. He's not turning evidence. He said he'd be more concerned about what Obama and the deep state could do than anything that the military could do to him, and did not believe that they were going to do anything. He was held there for a couple days, and then he got his little chopper ride to Gitmo. Once he got to Gitmo, he, again, they turned the burners up, put more fire on him, and told him that he would be hung just like Hillary Clinton if he didn't talk. They also showed him evidence of what they had, some of what they had on him. If you think back to Anthony Weiner, if you remember this sick little fuck, he was in trouble several times for underage girls and all kinds of shit. He was the husband of Huma Abedin. Huma Abedin was the assistant to Hillary Clinton. The military had the laptops and computers from Anthony Weiner. Okay? Anthony Weiner's been executed. He's done, he's gone, he's out. On the laptop from Anthony Weiner is a whole bunch of shit. But some of what's on there is Hillary Clinton and Huma Abedin doing sexual acts, disgusting shit, to kids from Haiti. If you remember all the Haiti kids that Clinton Foundation was in there, that's what it was all about. So they show this to James Comey. James Comey now knows they have the evidence and they can prosecute, okay? That act qualifies, among several other things, for death. So, hang on here. James Comey, still reluctant, won't talk. So they put him back in his cell. He spends months in his cell. He doesn't talk. He doesn't say too much about anything. He spends most of his time curled up in a fetal position, laying in his cell. Okay. Remember, James Comey's a big guy. This dude's like 6'7". Okay. He's real tall, goofy, lanky motherfucker. So on the day that Hillary Clinton is executed, they bring James Comey out to watch. They watch her be hung. He sees and hears her neck snap. He sees the floor come out. Boom. Still defiant, he says that could be anybody. That could be a dummy. You can't touch her. He says Hillary Clinton is untouchable. Several hours later, 10, 12, whatever it was, they take him to the morgue where, and this is gross, folks, this is gross, where Hillary Clinton is laid out on the slab, butt-ass naked. If that ain't a way to fucking stop breeding right there, because that'll make you impotent probably for life, I would think. And they force him to touch her where rigor mortis has already set in on her face, shoulders, hands, that kind of stuff, so that he knows that ain't a fake. It's not a body double. It's not a dummy. It's the real her, and she's really dead. At that point, James Comey breaks down, hits his knees, and says, whatever, whatever, I'll tell you anything you want. He tells all kinds of shit about Hillary Clinton. He says all kinds of stuff about James Brennan from the CIA. And he turns a whole shitload of evidence on Barack and Michelle, Michael Robinson, Obama. They put him back in his cell. He is sentenced to life in prison at Gitmo for that deal. At that point, the military now has testimony in addition to the evidence that they already have. They already have James Brennan at this time. They already have James Brennan in Gitmo. They already have Barack and Michelle in Gitmo. Fast forward about a month, they come to James Comey and they said, we just found evidence that you were on Epstein Island several times. Not just Epstein Island out there where everybody thinks it's famous, because that's not the only one that Epstein had. They also have him at his ranch in New Mexico, where James Comey participated in having sex with 12-year-old boys. It was James Comey and Bill Clinton together having sex with 12-year-old boys. They have the video. At that point, they tell James Comey, you will face a military tribunal. Your deal's off the table. And if the military convicts you, you will be sentenced to death by firing squad. Currently, he's still there at Gitmo. He has not had his military tribunal as of yet. It is scheduled this week, next week, very soon. And that will be the fate of James Comey. Everybody asks where I get my information. I get a lot of that on here. Where do you get your information? How do you get all this stuff about Gitmo? How do you get this stuff about all this stuff? It's researching, folks. It's researching. Okay. And like I said, I want to help everybody out. I want everybody to help everybody else out, because the sooner we get this knowledge out there, the sooner we can bring an end to this. Okay. The Patriots, the good guys, the white hats, whatever you want to call them, they're done. They've already got it all. They got it all. They're just waiting for the masses, the people. Okay. So the sooner we get to the 80, 81, 82% that they want, based off of algorithms and shit on social media and all that kind of stuff, the sooner they're going to bring an end to this shit. So I go, some of the places I get stuff is Sidney Powell, Lynn Wood, Whiplash 347. Those are all on Telegram. You can get on there. You can see a lot of shit with that journalist, Richard Citizen journalist. He's on Telegram. He just had things up last night on his site, where Washington, D.C. is being flooded again, and there's 6 Black Hawk helicopters circling the White House. And they say, no. Well, he has the video. You know what I mean? So something's going on. They're flushing it out one more time, or making sure it's all said and done, or whatever the case might be. But there's shit going on. Other places I go is there's a site called Restore Republic. They have a lot of stuff on there. And I go to a few other places and stuff. And like I said, just because I get information from one site doesn't mean it's gospel truth. You can't trust anything. It doesn't matter. Even if it's something you want to hear, even if it's something that makes you feel good and you want to hear that, You can't trust it. You have to corroborate it. It has to be from 2, 3, 4 different sources. And it has to be the same story. You can't have three sources and 3 different versions of the same story. So that's why a lot of this stuff takes so long to get out. I'm going to keep it up. I'm going to keep going. This is fucking exhausting. I will tell you that. This is exhausting. I get tired of this shit. I like it. I like history. I like it. You know what I mean? I enjoy it. But at the same time, it's exhausting and it takes a lot out of you. And it really takes a lot out of you when you do it. And then half the people go, well, that ain't true. Well, I didn't hear that on the news, because they're that fucking stupid. So I'm going to keep it up, though. I'm going to keep it up just for myself and my own family. So anyway, I'll keep digging, and see you next time.